To install the Windows Deployment Services role, which from this point forward, I'm just going to call WDS instead of saying Windows Deployment Services over and over and over. So to install the WDS role, I'm going to click Add Roles and Features in Server Manager. I'm going to choose Next on the Before You Begin. On the Select Installation Type, we'll leave that on the default role-based or feature-based installation. I'll click Next there. For my computer, I'll just click Next there as well. Same as we've done on all the previous installations. In the list of roles, if I scroll to the bottom, Windows Deployment Services is in the list, so I'm going to click that. I get this pop-up, the Add Roles and Features wizard. This just tells me that the Remote Server Administration Tools, which we call RSAT, that it's going to load the Remote Server Admin Tools for Windows Deployment Services. So you always click Add Features there. Next. The feature screen, I am not selecting anything, so leave that as it is and select Next. The top paragraph here is an overview of WDS that just tells us this role is used to install operating systems remotely on client computers. The things to note tells me that WDS requires DHCP, DNS on the network. I must have an NTFS partition to store the images that we create. It also tells us that I can use PowerShell or this WDS utility reference to manage my images and the server itself. I'm going to click Next here. An important option, Deployment Server or Transport Server. If I deselect Deployment, I could install this as just a transport server. If I install a transport server, I do not have graphical tools to get loaded with this machine. The only time you normally would ever deploy a transport server is if this was going to run on a server core operating system, since that does not support graphical tools. The deployment server is a full WDS. It gives you all the features, all the configurations, and all the graphical tools. Well, that's what I'm going to choose here, a deployment server. I'll select Next for that. I will click Install, and the WDS role will be loaded. In the next section, we'll take a look at configuring images on the WDS server.